I have been doing this live for 3 years now, 3.5 years. And in that time, I have received a grand total of less than 5 policies that Donald Trump has done that were beneficial to Americans. And most of those, he wasn't the ones that advocated or even were in his calculus. They just popped up on his desk. And at no point has anyone been able to give me a concise reason they're voting for Donald Trump policy-wise. And now as soon as Kamala enters the race, they're like, oh my God, I'm so very concerned about this. Ladybugs. Ladybugs?
Oh, Lindsey Graham is here?
That's Lindsey Graham's name.
What?
Hello?
I have an imposter?
It's an inside joke, but
it's inside. It's a very inside joke. Anyway, what's going on? What's your take?
Hey.
Well, I have a take on your backdrop, which I don't agree with, but we can discuss.
Sure.
All right. What's up?
Why do you think she's winning?
Oh, because the aggregate shows her winning in nearly all the swing states, 6 out of 7 swing states right now. She's out fundraising Donald Trump. She's barnstorming the entire country right now in a way that he cannot keep up the pace with. He doesn't have the money. He's got outstanding debts in multiple states. He can't campaign.
I don't think he needs to campaign. I think he's got his following already, and we're going to...
So you guys think that he has a base. He has a base. It's about 43% in the polls, and he hasn't gone up. Kamala Harris has exceeded that. She has room to expand. He doesn't. So he can keep saying you don't need to vote. We have all the votes we need. But he's going to lose based on that kind of complacency.
He didn't say that. I did.
Well, he did say that we have all the votes. You don't have to vote. I can give you an exact quote. Donald Trump said we don't need the votes.
I've never heard him say that.
We have enough. Okay, I'll play it for you.
I know. I would like to hear it. I'm not saying he didn't say it. That's just something I mean, every Trump supporter
I listen to Donald Trump on a
mindset,
day-to-day
'cause that's true.
basis, so he absolutely has. Here we go, right here. I know my Here you go.
I actually tell our people, we don't need your vote. We got so many votes, we don't need them. We just...
That was so easy. Anyways, Donald Trump.
Yes.
Right, that's my point. He has a base.
I wasn't lying.
He's getting complacent. He thinks he has enough. He lost the popular vote with his last 2 competitors. I don't see why it would be any different. He's going to lose.
He's not. I don't think he's complacent. I think he
has.
And I think all Democrats and all Republicans are waiting on Kamala to.
He said Christians, you won't have to vote for another 4 years. He says we have all the votes. You don't need to vote. He's discouraging people from voting early. This is a sign of somebody who I think knows he's going to lose and is paving the groundwork for that. All of these things, you would not be saying these things to somebody, to your base, if you were confident about winning.
I disagree with your logic.
It's perfectly logical. If you were winning, you would encourage everyone to vote. Would you not? You would encourage early voting.
Can we discuss
Kamala?
Can we discuss some of Kamala's?
Kamala.
Ms. Harris. Can we discuss?
Kamala.
Can we discuss the vice president's policies? You know who
yes,
we're
we
talking
absolutely
about.
can. Are you in favor of expansion of the child tax credit?
Nope.
You're not in favor of an additional $300 per month for children?
Who's going to pay for that?
This is an expansion towards those making above $400,000 a year.
Has she got her policies on her website yet? Because everybody's been waiting on those.
Yeah, she has this policy.
Is it on her website where everybody can see it and read it?
She's talked extensively about this, but she's only been a candidate for like 2 weeks now. Yeah, she'll have it up. Why does
it up already?
What is Donald Trump's healthcare policy?
Nope.
Shouldn't we have that after 9 years of him telling us? So he doesn't have one?
And how she doesn't have anything up there for the people to see. This whole ploy about her winning in the polls and this hyped up propaganda to make people think that all of a sudden out of nowhere she's beating Donald Trump. It's a ruse.
Because she is.
It's not reality.
You know how an aggregate works?
So wait a second. Just a quick question. So when Donald Trump was winning in the polls, you were perfectly saying he's winning in the polls, but now that Kamala is, you don't want to say that.
No, because there's no solid proof that she is. Everybody knows it's propaganda.
It's the same polls that you guys. It's the same polls. It's the same polls that Donald Trump was pointing to say that he was winning.
But my point is, this is a woman.
Hold on, no! Stop! Can you answer that?
It's a legitimate question.
I asked you a question you didn't answer. Maybe listen a little more. Stop waiting to respond. Cool.
I'm completely right.
No, you're not.
About what?
She didn't have a lowest approval rating of 28%.
No.
That's a fact.
No, she did not.
Okay.
Her approval rating.
She did. Absolutely, she did.
She absolutely did not.
That.
You have to look at a polling aggregate. Everybody doesn't know that. I look at the polls on a regular basis, and they absolutely do not say that. You're pointing to the polls when Donald Trump was winning and saying, look, the polls say he's going to win. And now that he's winning, you trust the polls, which is, funnily enough, what I said was going to happen like 100,000 times on this live.
I have really said nothing intricate about the polls at all.
Do you understand how the Electoral College math works?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're aware that Donald Trump
blow us all out of the water.
Cool. You're aware that Donald Trump has to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin to take the presidency, correct?
Absolutely.
Correct. So now he's also losing. He's tied in Georgia. He's tied in Arizona. He's tied in North Carolina, and he's tied in Nevada. So now he has to win North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, of which he's losing in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
According to who? Like, what are the sources?
Pollsters.
If it's mainstream media, you can't believe a word they
polling,
say.
We're not
polling
sourcing the
aggregate.
media.
Every poll that I've seen online and elsewhere is the complete opposite of what you're telling
What
people.
poll?
On the
I'm not looking at a single poll. I'm looking at the what's called polling aggregate.
Well, I can trust the polling aggregate right here in this moment in time just about as much as you can trust anything. That
Then why could
CNN
Donald Trump trust it a month ago?
I don't think Donald Trump trusts anything.
He did.
Right
he said we're winning in the
since he
polls. He
almost
said
got
it in the
assassinated.
debate. He said he said we're winning in the polls. He said we're winning in the polls. He's posted it online. He's posted all over the place. I can find you numerous screenshots. He's pointing to the same
and every
polls.
single-
He pointed to the same polls that are now showing he's losing.
Okay, well, it's kind of odd how the script is completely flipped in a matter of days.
No,
And now
it's
all of a
not.
sudden Kamala's
It's
on top. I find that really hard to believe.
okay.
It's not surprising we have a more popular candidate.
It's Kamala. She's
What
more
can she
likable.
Here's
Beat Trump.
my question. Here's my question. As her representing us as leader of the free world, okay, she's been VP for 3.5 years. What has she accomplished in 3.5 years? And then what makes you think she's going to continue to
Why are they all
on
so?
that same path
Why are
the
they
next
all
4 years
so?
as president?
Why are they all so suddenly
Because
concerned? Hold on a second. Why are they all so suddenly concerned about policies that none of them have been?
Because I just wanna see that.
Stop for a second. Let me talk. I have been doing this live for 3 years now, 3.5 years, and in that time, I have received a grand total of less than 5 policies that Donald Trump has done that were beneficial to Americans, and most of those he wasn't the ones that advocated or even were in his calculus. They just popped up on his desk, and at no point has anyone been able to give me a concise reason they're voting for Donald Trump policy-wise. And now as soon as Kamala enters the race, they're like, oh my God, I'm so very concerned about this.
Here's what I don't understand. Just hear me out for just a minute. If I was Kamala, which I'm not.
Kamala.
And I have
Wait, we're going to do this. Kamala. Yeah.
Kamala.
Kamala.
If I was Kamala, and I knew that I
She even
had
said it weird then.
the lowest approval.
Kamala.
Let me finish. If I had the lowest approval rating, which is 28% of
She doesn't.
VP.
Okay. I can pull it up right now. She absolutely doesn't.
But she did it one time. So if I had that as
No,
my
she
track
didn't
record
at
and I
one
was gonna be
time.
running for
No, she did
let me
not stop.
finish.
No, you're not. I'm going to stop you because you're vehemently wrong.
No, because you're
she
not
did
letting me
not
speak
have.
truth.
Listen, that is not what. She did not have a poll at 28%. She may have had one, but you don't base it off of one poll. You base it off an aggregator. You're pointing to one poll of the hundreds of polls done that was done back before January 1st, 2022. And there was another one that was done April 24th, 2022. So you're pointing to 2 polls out of hundreds.
Yeah, the aggregate
point
shows her
is-
lowest score at about 35%, which is about as low as Donald Trump's was.
My point
You're not
is,
using
if
that
I was
argument against
Kamala,
him.
My point is, if I was Kamala and I had been installed to be the next president, because obviously Biden was pushed out of there, we all know that.
Were you guys not calling for him to
I
leave?
I would lose sleep until my policies were up and running, because I would want the American people to know what I'm going to be standing for. And so far, she's had a few weeks to do that, and we have nothing.
Have you
We
watched
have
any of her
nothing to
rallies?
fall back on. Yeah, it's a repeat. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, she's
Right, she goes through
piggybacking off of
policy.
Trump's tax policies. Yeah, she's
No, she
piggybacking
brought that up at the
Trump's tax
last
policy.
rally. She's been talking about the child
She's
tax credit. She's
piggybacking
been
off of
talking
the
about
Trump has the same one, because she has nothing
it's actually
new.
a different policy.
Because the people really running the show, which is the deep state, haven't provided her that information.
The deep state?
yet.
The deep state.
You
The
don't
deep
need to
state.
mock. I mean, I'm being truthful.
Of course I do, because it's a
Deep
stupid argument.
I have a question. If the
No,
deep
it's
state
a
is in
truthful
government,
argument.
I have a question for
I'm
you
sure
about
you
the
think
deep
so.
state. Maybe you can make it make sense. I know you won't. Why does the deep state keep bowing to Donald Trump?
The deep state isn't bowing to Donald Trump.
So why is every Republican endorsing him for the most part, besides the ones that are intimately close to him that worked in his administration? But virtually every congressional Republican has endorsed him.
Because he's a badass, and he's going to bring us back to
But
where
they're
we need
part
to
of
be.
the.
I mean,
They're part
what
of
kind
the.
question
Are they
is
not
that?
the establishment?
I thought they were part of the
Is
deep
McConnell
state.
not the establishment?
Kamala? Did I say it right?
Here goes the
Did I say
pivot.
it right that time?
McConnell. I'm
No,
asking
I'm not.
you.
I'm trying to say it correctly.
Can you?
You
So
guys are
where?
gonna correct me if
Who?
I'm
Who
wrong.
is the deep state? Is it not all the representatives you view as corrupt?
It just depends.
Hey guys, if you are enjoying the show, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And if you want to support the channel, you guys can become a YouTube member on this channel, or preferably join the Patreon in the link tree in the bio. Also in the link tree is my TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, and the OK Hi YouTube, which I post news to on a regular basis. Enjoy the rest of the show. If he's part of the deep state, okay, well, it can't be people in his administration because he put them there. It can't be people in the in Congress because virtually all of them have endorsed him. So who is the, what are you saying? The deep state's endorsed him?
No, the deep state hasn't endorsed him.
Okay, so wait, the people who haven't endorsed him would be the 40 out of 44 cabinet members, right? That he appointed. So he appointed the deep state.
Well, you believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not going to.
No, I'm just asking you, just following your logic. It's the people who didn't. So, excuse me, it's the people who didn't endorse him, which would be 40 out of 44 cabinet members, yes?
No, I don't think they're
no? Then who falls under this term then of the deep state? If it's not people who haven't endorsed him, if it's not members of Congress,
maybe
just specify one person in the deep state. How's that?
Maybe they're that.
Okay, are they a cabal? Are they a secret cabal of wealthy influencers?
Probably so.
Then why does Trump want to cut their taxes and deregulate them?
No. It's not about that.
Sure it is. Why would he give them more power? Why would he give them more wealth and influence over our systems?
Wait, where's my audio?
He's not giving them more power and influence over our systems.
Wait, so deregulating deregulating their ability to monopolize and control markets and things like that doesn't give them more power?
No, I think you have it all backwards.
I explain it then. Giving them more money, giving them a lower tax rate, effective tax rate, and lower corporate tax rate, how does that cripple them?
I don't think he's doing that, and he's not going to do that.
But he did do that. He lowered taxes for them. He's deregulated a number of different things pertaining to private enterprise and big multinational corporations. He cut their taxes. He did away with antitrust laws.
What I'm more worried about is someone who's not.
Can you just answer my question, lady?
I'm more worried about.
Can you just answer my question? How is any of that anti-deep state?
It just is.
It just is because you just feel like it? You just shrug it all off? You don't have to apply logic to your own argument? Is that how it is?
No, because the deep state's going to try to destroy him.
Do you ever take a step back and like
really
try to track what you're saying, what you think? Does it make sense? Excuse me. Does it make sense in a linear fashion what you're suggesting here? That he is both anti-deep state, but also his policies of deregulation and enriching them through tax policy is better?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter, because aren't we anti-deep state here?
It doesn't matter. It's beside the point.
It does matter. I want to tax the out of the deep state, don't you? Excuse me, don't you want to tax the deep state?
You could. It has nothing to do with taxing the deep state.
Sure it does. You want to cripple their wealth and influence, right?
You could cripple them all you want, and they're still going to do.
Why don't you want to? I want to. Why don't you?
She's getting annihilated out here. This is bad.
I know.
Bad.
Why wouldn't he appoint 3 Supreme Court justices that signed on to doing away with Citizens United?
Is there a cookie emote for Jaden? We need a Jaden cookie.
What are your thoughts on Kamala's immigration policy?
Why are you changing the subject? I just want to understand why Donald Trump is helping the deep state. No. I want you to just answer my questions first. I will answer every question you've got for me as soon as you answer mine, okay? How do his policies hurt the deep state? Can you name one? You have not made a valid point. You literally gave me a just because answer, so no, you've not made a valid point, or let alone an intelligent one. So I'm asking you again for the final time, what policies does he have that would cripple the deep state?
I'd have to read his policies. There's what, 20.
So you don't know. Then why are you voting for him?
Because he's a complete opposite of what Kamala represents.
I'd say he's closer to the deep state than she is. Right. He's big government.
I mean, hell, her dad was a Marxist. Like,
Trump believes in corporate socialism.
For the people.
He's enriched himself through tax policy and subsidies from the federal government.
And who wouldn't?
I don't know. A non-socialist?
A guy who was against the deep state would do that.
You guys are caught on this deep state. I start talking about
I know. Deep state.
Listen, we're just asking you. What we're doing is we're asking you questions that's like the logical next question that you would ask, right? And if you do that, you will find out, and do it effectively, that you will find out that A, people don't know very much, but also you don't need to know very much about anything if you're just asking people questions that are just like, this is the question, right? Like,
are you guys getting paid by the DNC to try to push
I'm being paid by the RNC, actually.
I'm getting paid by the DNC. That's right. Really? I'm a democratically paid shill. So if you guys want to send your DNC paychecks into me, there is a Venmo Cash App in the bio. If you're on YouTube, Super Chat's down because
they're really good at doing that. I mean, they paid off the mainstream media. I mean, the mainstream media is all of a sudden hyping her up. You know what really confuses me is how
Your argument
Biden was so headstrong. What?
Can you address the question? Listen, here's the point that we're making. I'm just going to drive it home because some people refuse
because
to
I'm
answer the
pivoting
question.
away from the deep
Excuse me. I
state.
know you're pivoting away. That's why I'm going to finish this whole thing off here, okay? Not like Jaden didn't cook you enough. We ask these questions because these are the simple questions that you should be asking. They logically follow, right? And so when you're not answering questions, it tells us something. It tells us that you don't have an answer for the really logical questions. Okay,
Well, I'm not the smartest knife in the drawer about all of this, but I have common sense enough to know that not voting for Trump is going to get us farther into the pits of hell that we're already in right now. A large percentage of this country is angry and upset. And guess what? We're all divided, too. Over stupid shit.
Oh, no, we're not. We're divided over very real stuff. Cool. So,
No.
Yeah, listen, can I talk? You're just trying to stonewall and steamroll. Right, you're just trying to steamroll the conversation. Can you stop so I don't have to mute you? You're just trying to steamroll the conversation, okay? The point is, and that I'm not going to ask you any questions, I'm just going to make it. There is no deep state. It doesn't exist. It was made up by people that don't understand how intergovernmental structures work. Because it's a lot simpler to say, it's out of my control, I have no idea, it's some secret cabal. Then you get to play detective, as opposed to the very complex, boring, and whatever else, just put yourself to sleep of campaign finance laws. There's no reason for there to be an underground cabal of people that own and operate everything because corporations already do it legally, openly, to every degree.
Are you kidding me?
So the point is,
oh my God.
No, I'm not. The point is,
you were in complete denial of reality.
Of what?
Said you're in complete denial of reality.
You have not given me. You have not been able. You have not been able to tell me who the deep state is. You haven't even been able to tell me who the deep state is.
It's a mystery.
I know. So then why can you? So right, I know. That's exactly my point. I want you to listen very carefully, okay? Listen very carefully so I don't have to mute you. Please stop. Please listen. Thank you. You're just regurgitating a bunch of crap, right? We have in this country, corporations that give money to politicians. And based on the money that is given, you can track the vote of said politician and what they're likely to vote for. You can predict it pretty well. And you're saying that in lieu of all of this data that we have that comes in to politicians from these corporations, from these lobbying firms, from that we should ignore that the quantifiable data, the verifiable way in which they vote based off money they received, we should ignore that in lieu of some psychosomatic conspiracy theory off in the middle of nowhere.
No, I'm not saying that.
Right. You're just telling me that this is happening and not providing me any evidence. If you were to ask me, what evidence do you have that corporations provide for people? I could point to Purdue Pharmaceutical and the fact that none of them have gone to prison for poisoning and killing 60,000 Americans a year because they lobbied for that. I can point to banks. I can point to the list goes on of entities that I can point to in the way in which it affects our thing. Yours is just, it's out of my control. There's some hidden group somewhere. Well, who knows?
Right. Like if you want to, we can roll it into Fauci and how he, did his whole thing with COVID. And
no, we can't roll it into Fauci. He was done. He worked for, oh my God, he worked under Trump.
We can't
he worked, listen, he worked under Trump. Trump continued to hire him.
He did.
Right. Trump continued to hire him. Trump could have gotten rid of him.
He wasn't exposed until after the fact.
No, he wasn't. I followed that from day one. You guys have been yapping about Fauci for years. Since day one, you needed someone to blame. Then why did Donald, if he is part of the deep state, why did Donald Trump not fire him?
Fauci, I didn't say Fauci was part of the deep state. I said Fauci lied to everybody.
Then why do you need to bring it up? I'm asking about the deep state. Stay on topic.
And we all know that now. But
who is the deep state? Who is the deep state?
I would like to know. You need to tell me.
It doesn't exist. That's what I'm telling you.
I just brought him up in conversation.
So you don't know who it is. Right. There's a flying spaghetti monster that controls everyone in government. That's what you've just said. Some lady in Omaha has a corn on her foot that's controlling Donald Trump with her mind waves. What?
Who was controlling Biden? Who was controlling Biden?
Can you stay on topic?
Because every time he would get up to speak, he would make references to. Listen. It's a good point.
You're flailing.
He was not calling the shots.
Is it though?
You're flailing. The shots and everybody knows it.
Please stop flailing. For the love of God, stop flailing.
Who was pulling Biden's strings?
Can you address?
Answer me.
Can you address the deep state?
Strings.
Biden. Who is the deep state?
No.
Okay, listen. If you don't know who the deep state is,
they told me not to say that.
Are you done?
We're not talking about the deep state anymore. We're talking about.
Here's what's happened. She's very clearly doesn't know anything about politics, and she is just trying to die on a hill of something that doesn't exist. The deep state does not exist.
Oh, honey,
There
I'm not
are
dying on a
parts.
hill. We're
Please,
all at the
please
top of the
stop.
hill,
Stop
actually.
talking, please.
I'm no-
Please stop. Please stop. There are parts of the world where the term deep state is very real. When you're talking about the ISI out of Pakistan, when you're talking about Turkey and the things that Erdogan is doing behind the scenes and pulling of strings, there's some degree of that, right? Where there's people that have significantly more power that are not in any position. But in this regard, for America, no, we know who's pulling the strings. It's billionaires. Anyway, are you done? Are you done getting cooked? I think you're almost well done. In this.
I'm not cooked. I'm just trying to figure out why you like went down this deep state rabbit hole when all I did was
Because you brought it up.
and you
brought
just
it
went
up.
off. But then I start bringing up legitimate things, and you
Do
skirt
you-
around
You
it
haven't?
like you won't answer me the Biden question.
Do you?
Yeah, I
because
already
we're-
did.
Because you're not
It's a
answering.
stupid question
Biden and
anyways.
his
Right.
administration got us to the point we are right now, and Kamala is just
Okay, how would you want me to
she's
answer that? You just want me to
following
put out a
in those
name?
footsteps, and she's not going to
If
win.
I told you nobody was pulling his strings, you wouldn't support that answer.
You wouldn't believe it.
If you told me nobody was pulling Biden strings,
Right. You would just keep pressing me and asking the same
Nobody
dumb
would
fucking
believe that.
question until I gave you an answer that you would believe.
no, it's not a question. It's
It is a
fact.
question. Then what
And
is it?
Biden
It's
is no
rhetoric
longer
then,
running.
right?
Biden is
And it's
no
a
longer
rhetorical
candidate
question.
because they
All right, cool. I'm done with that. I'm going to mute it for a second. Can we get some dubs and drums in the chat? We hit 800 organic viewers over on YouTube. And if you guys are new, welcome to the show. If you're wondering why I have tats on my hand, I have a 3-year-old, and we found some fake tattoos, so that's why. If you guys want to support the channel, the super chat is down over on YouTube because of AdSense. It's going to be 2 to 3 weeks. But if you guys want to support, you can go down below in the bio. There is my link tree with this Venmo Cash App. Same thing over here. Appreciate it. I'm just kind of tired. She's just yapping. She's not really answering questions. The reality is, instead of her going like, I didn't know that, or where can I verify this information, she doesn't bother, right? Because she already made up her mind.
because there's no way I'm going to give Kamala a chance.
Kamala. Kamala. Jesus. There's no way I'm going to give Kamala a chance. I'm going with the grapist. Yeah. That's my guy.
The only way she can fill a stadium is
What's
by
that?
bringing in a
Stop
musician.
talking. Stop talking. Donald Trump can't even find a musician to support him besides Ted Nugent, which ironically enough, you should go read some of the lyrics to some of his songs because they're about assaulting children.
Oh, so that's any better than popping your coochie out and like in front of children that are in the
Yeah,
audience
that's better.
and
I would
you're
say that
saying, like, making
twerking
a
is
stallion?
significantly
Okay,
better than that. Yeah. What world do you live
Yeah,
in? Are
yeah.
there?
appropriate.
Hey, I got
Also,
a
which
question.
candidate violently essayed a woman?
Right.
Which candidate was on Epstein's flight log?
I have a better question. What flavor are the snow cones today in Crazy Town? They getting out free bus
know.
tickets today? You should drive your ass to the point.
This is why nobody likes you because you get angry.
I'm not angry, and you don't have to
You
like
know,
me.
I asked you legitimate questions earlier.
You
and
don't ask. You didn't. We've answered
You
skirt
them.
weren't.
around facts. You skirt around facts, and I mispronounce her name, and you correct me. You know, like
Oh
it's
yeah, like you
Kamala,
should. Yeah,
she's
yeah.
our-
Like okay,
she's our mama.
okay.
She's not.
KM, appreciate it. Thank you, KM. Paid to kick. Can we get some dubs for KM? Thank you, Tony Polisi here. You gotta go. Appreciate the meatball sub. If you're new, we have Tony Polisi. People pay $30 to kick, and I get a free sub. It's nice. It helps support the channel. It helps get rid of annoyances like that one. By the way, there will be merch that I'm working on with Pop Bully. That's hilarious. So